Good morning, friends, and welcome back. And if you are new here, my name is Kim, and I just wanted to do a quick update. About a week ago, I started some seeds. We had did some onions and some celery and some herbs and a lot of pepper seeds. And I just kind of wanted to give an update because everything is growing and growing very well. These I actually needed to remove these probably a day or two ago. They are doing very, very well. These were the, let's see, Utah yellow sweet onions that I had planted in here. And if you remember from my last video, I posted that about a week ago. If you want to go look at that video, I can always put a link. Well, all I did was, these are the ones, if you remember, I did not pop any holes in the bottom of these. I just filled them full of soil, sprinkled my seeds, and put them in a Ziploc. But look at the germination in there. There is still some more little ones starting to come up. So they are doing very well. There's a bunch of little ones still. So these are very, very impressive, doing very well. And let's see, I had two different kinds. Let's see, those ones I marked. These are also the same kind. These were yellow. They're yellow Spanish sweet onion, a Utah. These are also doing very, very well. Not as many in this tray, but they are doing a lot of really well. There's a lot of babies coming up. So very happy with the germination on onions. And then these are my evergreen bunching onions. And they usually do take just a little bit longer. But it is probably time to go ahead and pull these off. You want to pull these off as soon as the top of the onion touches that plastic. I probably should have did it yesterday because they grew another ½ an inch overnight. Like I said, these are evergreen bunching onions. These are green onions. And these are really good. You can put them on anything. There is a lot of germination. I may come through with these. I'm still seeing a bunch more coming up that are really, really small, but I may come in with these and sprinkle just another small layer of seeds. I'm going to give you a close-up of those. There's a little better picture of them. These are the Utah yellow sweet onions. These two containers, they are looking really good. And now that I've pulled the plastic off, these will all start to stand up. Now with these, all I do is I just keep that soil moist in there. I don't want to keep it wet. So I'll just kind of keep an eye on them, and you don't want them to dry out at any point. Just keep them moist at all times. Just depends on how warm your house is. I usually only have to add water, maybe about once a week. And I just pour a little bit of water in here and then let it absorb, and then I'll wait a couple minutes. If the soil's damp enough, then I'll stop. If it's not damp enough, I'll just add a little bit more. But these are the evergreen bunching onions. And like I said, these ones take a little bit longer. These seeds were about 3 years old, so they may not be as good as the other seeds were. So I'll probably go ahead and sprinkle some more seeds in there. But let me show you what these sweet potatoes are doing that I did a video on about 10 days ago. They are really exciting how fast they are growing. These are the sweet potatoes I started 10 days ago. And there's also a video of that. I can also link that one too. Let me show you what they are doing. Look at the roots on those. Can you see that? Those roots are amazing already. There are roots all over. So they are doing really, really well. And I forgot to mention in that video, about once a week, come in, dump your water out, put some fresh water in there. And don't add ice cold tap water. I would just add some room temperature water. Sweet potatoes are kind of a warmer climate, and they like a warmer water. Now this one doesn't have as long a roots, but it is still doing very well. Lots of roots growing. Now here in, I would say probably another week, maybe 2 weeks. I don't know if it'll take that long. These are are growing pretty fast. They will start to produce these sweet potato slips. So I will definitely bring you back for that. And we will show you the sweet potato slips growing. And then I'll also bring you along, wipe up my water here. I will also bring you along when we take the slips off, how we do that, and when it's planting time outside. Okay, so this container, let's see, the first row was parsley, oregano, and then rosemary, but I messed up and I had rosemary mixed with oregano. So I'm starting to see some growth in here. I have not pulled the top off yet. I'm going to let them, like I said, I usually look for about 75% germination. And right now I'm going to let them go for probably just a couple of more days in here. Just until all of them look like this one here. This one's got some really good germination. This one is still growing a little. So this is parsley, these 4 right here. The 2 end ones are not growing as well, and that's probably because part of them are on the seed mat and part of them are not, or on the heat mat. The middle is a oregano. So these 4 right here are all oregano. Now here, these are the ones that I accidentally put my oregano seeds into my rosemary pack. So I had to pick them out, and I knew I was going to get some oregano mixed. I believe this one right here, I believe that is an oregano. It sure looks like that. Now this one I think is a rosemary because it looks completely different than right here. And then back here, I think these might be oregano. So rosemary does take a lot longer, so that's why I'm going to go ahead and leave this little dome on it. And it has been a week now since I have planted these, and like I said, as long as you have these humidity domes on here, you do not have to water them. You can see how much moisture is in there. The soil is still nice and damp. So I love those humidity domes. I highly recommend them. They are very, very cheap, and you can buy them anywhere. You can get them at feed stores. You can get them at Walmart. You can order them online. Okay, and this one was my celery. Now, celery does normally take a while to germinate. Let's see if there's anything in here. Yeah, I don't see anything in here, but celery can take up to 3 weeks to germinate. So I didn't really expect anything in this one yet. Not quite seeing anything yet, so we will just put the cover back on that and I'll give you another update next week. And I'm also getting ready to plant, getting water everywhere. I'm getting ready to plant some bok choy and some cabbage, and I'm going to get some flowers planted, and I think probably next week I'm going to be doing some tomatoes. So, lots of stuff to get planted. But today I definitely need to do broccoli. Probably going to get some Brussels sprouts. Actually, I don't know if I have any broccoli seeds. I think I forgot to pick them up. Definitely cabbage, bok choy. I think I have Napa cabbage too, some head cabbage. So I'm going to be planting those as soon as I get done here. Now, these are peppers. Peppers do take a long time to germinate. So these I will also put the lid back on. But you can start to see, let's see. These are jalapenos. And if you remember, I planted 2 in each hole, and I did diagonal. You can see this one is coming up. This one is coming up. And the same over here. I planted diagonal. Now, if more than 2 come up, I will go ahead and pick one out, or I will just transplant that into another pot. Let's see, there is one. Well, there's one coming up in there. I don't know if you can. Oh, let's see. There it is. Don't know if you can see that. That one is just breaking the surface. And there's another one here. And these are those giant bell peppers that I got from M.I. Gardener. I can't remember the name of them right now. I'd have to look at the video. Look at my seed pack. But these are starting to come up, so these are looking really good also. Don't see anything on the spicy peppers yet, but that's alright because peppers can take anywhere from 2 weeks to 3 weeks, sometimes even a little bit longer. So I just want to give everybody a quick update on how everything is growing. I'm going to put this dome back on here, and I still have, it does have the air vents up here. I still have this completely closed up because I want that soil to stay nice and moist. I have my seed mat over here. I'm going to put it back on my seed mat along with my celery and my herbs I have over here. I can do this. And then I am going to work on getting some cabbage and lots of flowers planted today. So I will bring it along, and I'll probably just do a fast forward on that just to show you what I'm up to today. So I hope you enjoy this video. And here is also my hydroponics unit. It's not doing so well, unfortunately. This right here I had planted. I don't know if you can see where I've cut it off. I had planted some mixed salad greens in there, and I put way too many seeds in there. I'm going to pluck some of those out. Yesterday I went and I chopped them off, and I actually made a salad with it. It actually made 2 nice salads. But they were really, really tall, and they were just shading everything out. So I went ahead and cut them off. And if they grow back, they grow back. If not, I'll pull them out, just stick some more seeds in there. I may actually just leave it out because it grew so fast that it just shaded everything out. This was my rosemary. Rosemary does grow really slow, but it is doing very good. There are 2 plants in there. This is parsley. This is my oregano. It's still pretty small. This was my basil. Back here you can see that I have some bok choy growing. In the back there are Tabasco peppers. I'm going to have to pull one of those, the little one, out of there. And if you can see right here, this was a tomato, and I believe it was a cherry tomato I planted, and I did not have dwarf seeds, and I learned the hard way. I had to cut it off. It had grown, there's about a 2-foot section in here. I have this light, it's about 8 foot tall right now. I wish this light went lower. That's the only thing I do not like about this system, is that is as low as it goes, and it will go up to 24 inches tall, but it will not go any lower than 2 feet. So your plants tend to grow really tall really fast, and I don't care for that because I like to keep my lights like this, where they are nice and right down on top of the plants, to keep those plants nice and short and wide instead of tall and leggy. But the tomato in here, this is about, I don't know, about 30 inches to the top up here. The tomato had grown out around the side and all the way up, and had already touched the ceiling in here. And it is way too early for me to pull it out and to plant it outside. I can't plant a tomato outside until about the middle of May. So I went ahead and I just cut it off this morning because it was just way too big, and it was starting to shade the other plants, and it was growing really, really weird. So I just made the decision that unless I can find some dwarf tomato seeds, I just can't do tomatoes in the house right now. I probably could if I'm only growing tomatoes, but with the herbs and everything else in here, there's just not enough room. And then this is a tomato also, but you can see it's already reached the top too, but I don't want to raise the light. And then there is a couple peppers in the back, if you can see them. I need to pull one of those peppers out. There are 2 peppers back there, and then I'm going to let one grow. I might actually cut this tomato off too and just pull it out of there, because there's just not enough room. I may just let the peppers, and the bok choy is getting pretty big. It's starting to fall over. I'm not sure what's going on. If anybody knows, I mean, the seed spot to plant these was not real deep. Maybe 1/4 of an inch, but it looks like it grew up instead of down. So it kind of fell over, so I might just have to chop that up and throw that in a stew pot or a soup or something, and we'll just go ahead and eat that, or maybe in some stir fry. But I will probably pull that out and just leave the peppers and the herbs in here. So there's just the herbs in the front and then the peppers in the back. So that is just a little update on those peppers. And I remember those ones are Tabascos, but I'd have to pull out my paperwork to look at what the other ones were. But they are doing pretty good. It was just very, very overcrowded. So the lettuce had to go, and I took out a tomato, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to take that tomato out too, because it'll just be way too big before I can plant in the middle of May. And it's still dropping into the 20s at night here, and low 30s. And it'll be middle of May before I can put tomatoes outside at the earliest. So, and I just don't have any place to keep a large tomato right now in the house that I can keep a light under it, plus all these little seedlings going. And the little seedlings are more important right now because that is what is going to fill my garden beds this year. And I will be planting tomatoes probably, I don't know, I'm thinking a week to 2 weeks. Usually around the beginning of March, which is just in a couple of days. Actually, I think March is tomorrow. So yeah, I'll probably wait, I don't know, maybe a week, 10 days, and I will start some tomato seeds. But I'm going to get going. I've got lots of cabbage. I'm going to do head cabbage, Napa cabbage, bok choy. I need to get some kale going because my chickens absolutely love kale, and so does my puppy dog Peanut. She absolutely loves kale. I need to get those going. And then I'm going to work on planting some pretty neat seeds this year that I have never tried before in the past. So I'm going to go ahead and work on that. So thank you everybody for watching. I hope everybody is growing lots of plants indoors. Remember, even if you have containers, you can have a small garden. It's very easy, doesn't take up much space. Put something in a pot, put something on your table. I mean, that's the way I see it, is grow your food, grow your groceries. It's a whole lot cheaper, and you know where it came from. So thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great day, and happy gardening. I'm going to get to planting.